What's good? This is JVB representing SPD, and that is sportsperdiem.com. The Bears lose to the New Orleans Saints 26-23 in overtime. Back-to-back losses for the Chicago Bears, and at least in this game, it was a lot less embarrassing than it was on Monday night. Now, I didn't do a video for Monday night because I was going through some personal things, and I just didn't have the energy to do anything, make any kind of video, so I apologize for that. But in this game, the Bears come out and they look pretty good. You know, the offense is never going to be great, but the Bears offense looked pretty decent in the first half. You saw David Montgomery breaking off a good run, Darnell Mooney getting deep, and guess what? Nick Foles actually completed the pass. It was a very long play. It was the biggest splash play for the Bears in the game. And then it leads to the eventual touchdown. Another spectacular catch from Allen Robinson. He made a couple of spectacular catches in this game, and how can we expect anything less from Allen Robinson? One of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. So now we're late in the first half, and the Bears are up 13-3. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints offense takes the field. Mind you that the New Orleans Saints are without Michael Thomas, you know, their best receiver, one of the best receivers in the National Football League, probably top 2 or 3. And you can call it what you want, you know, you can call it dinking and dunking what Drew Brees is doing. But when you dinking and dunking to number 41, when you dinking and dunking to Alvin Kamara, I don't care how you give that man the ball. He is going to make plays. He is going to create plays. He is going to give you big chunk plays damn near all the time, and he did so in this game today. But as I was saying, at the end of the second quarter, Drew Brees has this offense, and he's doing his thing. You know, he's thinking and ducking the ball. He eventually, and you knew this was going to happen, but he eventually took the shot to the end zone to Jared Cook. He missed him. You know, it was a bad pass from Drew Brees. But the very next play, Drew Brees throws the ball to the end zone again, once again to Jared Cook, and this time he scores a touchdown. A very easy touchdown. I'm thinking to myself, like, I know football is hard. I know Jared Cook is a big dude. But could somebody at least try to get to him? Could somebody at least try to tackle him? All you saw was Jared Cook going up for the ball and basically just walking to the end zone. You saw Jalen Johnson on the play, Eddie Jackson, Tashawn Gibson. What was they doing? Not only did he catch the ball, but he went to the end zone untouched. And this Bears defense is good. Not great, but good. But during this season so far, sometimes we've seen this defense just chill out. They'll accept the reception. They'll accept the run after the catch. They'll accept giving up the first down. They'll accept getting the penalty. And speaking of penalties, the Bears lead the NFL in penalties. You know what that tells me? Bad coaching. And how about the example of examples in this game? Javon Wims. What the fuck were you doing? This man literally, I'm laughing because it was so fucking stupid. But this man literally, after the play was over, he goes into number 22's face. I forgot his name. Who cares? He goes into the man's face and he punches him. But that wasn't it. He punched him again. A nice little scuffle comes about, but Javon Wims finds himself kicked out the game, ejected, and obviously he's going to get penalized. You know, he's going to get fined, and he might get suspended, you know, because that shit was stupid as hell. But as I said, things like that start up top. It starts with the coaching. There is no one player. I don't care how great the player is. Khalil Mack, whoever it is. There is no player greater than the whole fucking team. Because that play right there, 15-yard penalty, your offense goes backwards. We've seen this on the defensive side. Little things like that separates the great teams from the average teams to the bad teams. Matt Nagy and this coaching staff, they need to get that together. But you saw after that Javon Wims play, after that ejection, it breathed new life into the New Orleans Saints. Marshawn Lattimore gets an interception on Nick Foles. The Saints offense goes down the field and they do convert on the field goal. But New Orleans did eventually go out and get a touchdown. Drew Brees threw a touchdown pass to Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is their Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything, from being a quarterback, throwing the ball, receiving the ball as a tight end, or running the ball, which he did a lot in this game, and he picked up some very key first downs in this game as well. Speaking of backup running quarterbacks, we had an appearance in this game from one Mitchell Trubisky. Now, it was only for one play in the game, but the Bears did try to use Mitch Trubisky in an RPO situation where he kept the ball. He really didn't do anything with it, though. But it was a different wrinkle from Matt Nagy because we haven't seen that. We haven't seen Mitch Trubisky since the benching in the Atlanta Falcons game. So it is interesting to see if they're going to implement this a part of their offense now with Mitch Trubisky kind of playing a Taysom Hill kind of role, for the Chicago Bears in this Bears offense. But the Chicago Bears, who were once up 13-3 in this game, found themselves down 23-13. And for us Bears fans, it seems like we've been here every single week in this situation. So once again, it's time for us Bears fans to strap up, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. Maybe not enjoy the ride, but let's just see what the hell happens. But you got to give credit to Nick Foles and these Bears receivers, Anthony Miller, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, because they all made big plays when the Bears needed those big plays to be made. The Bears get down to the goal line on a pass interference call. It took them a while to get into the end zone, but they do get the touchdown from Darnell Mooney. So now the Bears are down by 3, and now they need their defense to come up big against this Saints offense. And lo and behold, the Bears defense holds steady, and they forced the New Orleans Saints to punt the ball back to the Bears offense. Obviously, the big play on that drive was third down where Alvin Kamara, he caught the ball in the flat, in the open, but Danny Trevathan, yes, Danny Trevathan, he hawks down Alvin Kamara. He takes him down, fourth down, and I damn near stood up on my feet because not only was it a big stop for the Bears defense to get the ball back for the Bears offense, but Danny Trevathan made a play when it mattered because all season long, and we saw it in this game as well, but all season long, Danny Trevathan has been abused by running backs and tight ends. So for him to do that against a player like Alvin Kamara, I was happy as hell, man. But the Bears offense gets the ball back. Nick Foles throws the ball over to Cole Kmet. He's fighting with Demario Davis. He's trying to get extra yards. And then he fumbles the ball. The Saints clearly recovered the ball. They were celebrating. And I personally thought the game was over. But the referee came out and said, once Cole Kmet stopped getting forward progress, they killed the play. The play was dead. At that moment, I was like, thank you. Thank you, referees, for hooking us up. But the Bears get another opportunity, and they're driving the ball down into Saints territory. I believe it was second down where Nick Foles took a big sack from Cam Jordan. The New Orleans Saints in this game had 5 sacks on Nick Foles. The Bears' offensive line is continuing to get decimated with injuries. Bobby Massey was the latest offensive lineman to go down with an injury. And for me personally, if you've been listening to me for any period of time, I'm not a big fan of Bobby Massey or Charles Leno. Even when Charles Leno had that decent season, I still didn't believe he was any good. But just talking about Bobby Massey, he was out in this game. But just keeping it real, I really didn't see a big difference from Bobby Massey and Alex Bars or whoever else was over there playing right tackle. I really didn't see a big difference. But Nick Foles goes down with the big sack. And for a veteran in Nick Foles, you just can't have nothing like that happen to you. Unfortunately, it will happen again later on in the game. But after taking that very bad sack, Nick Foles on 3rd and long finds Anthony Miller, and it wasn't the first down, but it was about a 16-yard reception, 17-yard reception. It gets the Bears in better field goal range for Cairo Santos to try to make a game-tying field goal. So it's a 51-yard field goal. and Cairo Santos unloads, it's good. But New Orleans called timeout. But Cairo Santos, with the balls of steel, through the Midwest Chicago wind, he makes the 51-yard field goal yet again, sending the game into overtime. So overtime starts, and the New Orleans Saints, they win the coin toss. They elect to receive, obviously, and they try to take the ball down the field, but the Bears defense holds. So the New Orleans Saints punch the ball to the Bears, and let's see what the offense does. And at first, it did look kind of promising for the Bears. They were getting some yardage, but there was two big plays that led to the Bears not doing anything on their offensive drive. Anthony Miller. And I know he made some great catches in this game. He made some big plays on fourth down. He was clutching this game. But Anthony Miller, yet again, had the chance to catch the ball. But he drops the ball. Who knows if that would have been a first down, but it would have been pretty damn close. But Anthony Miller drops the easy pass on first down. So now it's 2nd and 10, and the Bears just never recover. Third down comes. Nick Foles is rolling out. He's trying to make a play. He's holding on to the ball. And guess what? For the second consecutive drive, Nick Foles holds on to the ball too long and he gets sacked. But Nick Foles got sacked. The Bears punt the ball back to New Orleans. And you felt, unfortunately, in the pit of your stomach that Drew Brees was not going to allow this game to go all the way to the end. He was not going to allow this game to be a tie. The Saints get the ball back, and Drew Brees, he's not the most athletic guy in the world. But what he does very good is know when the pressure is coming. A couple of times the Bears were close to getting a sack on Drew Brees, but he evaded both times, and he converted both times on very clutch receptions from his receivers. He made big plays when he needed to because he's Drew Brees. He's a future Hall of Famer, and we can't really expect anything less. After those clutch first downs from Drew Brees, and especially after that, Eddie Jackson should have been an interception, but Eddie Jackson could not hold on to the ball. The very next play, the Saints convert the first down. And after that, the Bears defense, was basically, they were deflated. But then Alvin Kamara gets the toss, and he runs the ball all the way down into the Bears' red zone. They don't really waste any time. They bring Will Lutz in. He kicks the game-winning field goal. GG, game over. The Saints beat the Bears 26-23 in overtime. The Bears have now lost back-to-back games, fallen to 5-3. Fortunately for the Bears, the Green Bay Packers lost in a game that they shouldn't have lost at all to the Minnesota Vikings, but the Bears are still one game behind the Green Bay Packers for first place in the NFC North. This is how sports is. Like the great John Witherspoon said on Friday, you win some, you lose some. The Bears have lost 2 games in a row. And with this game especially, it is a tough loss, but at the end of the day, you had a lot of close wins yourself. The Bears could have easily lost the Detroit game, the Giants game. They could have lost the Atlanta game. They could have easily lost those games, the Tampa Bay game. This is just how it is in sports. You're going to win the close games sometimes. You're going to lose the close games sometimes. And fortunately, for the most part this season, the Bears have won those close games. The Bears are what their record is. They are 5-3. And for all those people, all those publications that said the Bears got exposed Monday night, what the fuck have you been watching the whole season? Besides the quarterback, this is the same exact team from week 1 to now week 8. There's nothing changed. It's not like the Bears were lighting it up on offense. They're blowing out teams. And then all of a sudden they play the Rams on Monday night and they get blown out. They get beat up. That wasn't the case. This team, for the first half of this season, they've been in close games. They've won those close games. This team, for the first half of the season, is the same damn team. So for anybody to say that the Bears were exposed, how were they exposed? We know the quarterback play is average at best. We know they're never going to be great. We know they're never going to be good consistently. We know Matt Nagy is not the genius that everybody believed that he was when he came from Kansas City. Obviously, he wasn't that guy. We know the defense has to damn near pitch a no-hitter every fucking game. We know all these things. Just like Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. We all knew if you got common sense, and I know common sense is not as common as everybody may think, but if you have common sense, you know damn well that this team ain't great. You know this ain't a team that's competing for a Super Bowl. But for those who actually follow this team, you know what kind of team this is. You know it's going to be a struggle every single week. Nothing's going to be easy with this Chicago Bears team. This game is done. We can't rewind this game. We can't start over with this game. The Bears lost. Now it's time to look forward to next week. Regroup. Focus. Offense, defense, special teams. Focus and stop committing so many stupid fucking penalties. Hopefully for the offense, Matt Nagy, play more efficient. Defense, get the stops when you need to. And probably, perhaps, the Bears can go to Tennessee and pick up a W. But I'm out. Like the video and share the video. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take it easy. God bless. Peace.